Chris and I, we take a look at the lighter side. We're definitely going to take a look at the Celtics here tonight and the overall NBA. It's presented by Eastern Propane and Oil. They're in your neighborhood.
What time you guys doing that?
You know what? Maybe around like 10:45. Let's get to the turning point. It is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Turn it around. Take control. Like JB, it's possible with the solution for weight loss. Reserve your consult at awaken180weightloss.com. In the third quarter.
Mind your business.
Woo! JB, you know his celly too. He kept it just right at the start.
He didn't do nothing. He just left it up there.
He didn't do the bull because he does not want to get fined on such a great night by JB. I want to talk, Eddie, about the other guys too, because the bench was huge here tonight. 35 points, 13 of 25. Finishing. I mean, it went from Peyton Pritchard, from Baylor Shireman having that putback dunk after the Jayson Tatum miss. Collectively, this team, Scal mentioned it, they're so hard to beat because they run so deep.
Yeah, we flipped it in the second half. I think they had 22 to our 14, and we flipped that. We ended up having 35 points. They still had 4 more points than us. The bench did, 39, but Peyton was knocking down shots. Baylor hit 2 big shots. You think about everybody that came in gave us something. It wasn't, and then on top of our bench, besides that, you look at Garza, his play, what he was able to do. We had 7 offensive rebounds that ended up at 19 points. That's huge right there. We were +6 in points in the paint, 40-34. So when I look at it, we outworked them tonight.
Yeah.
Especially in that second half.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit lost about playing 11 guys. They don't know what they're doing at this point. They'll figure it out. But Baylor Shireman, like I look at Pritchard, like he scores points off the bench. I'm just like, I expect him to do that. But Baylor Shireman came in. It was 3-3. Then he guarded. Then he had the tip dunk. Then he made another 3. He was huge during that run.
And the thing is, too, this is a guy who was starting. With Jayson Tatum being out, Baylor entering the starting lineup, he obviously knew he wasn't going back to the bench for any bad reasons because JT's back, right? To have Baylor still impact winning and impact the game the way he does, Eddie, I don't know if it's that challenging to do, but to stay that locked in and focused and impactful, like it's not an easy
No, I think
step.
it's a credit to the coaching staff, to him being a professional. And when you look at it, of course, he understood JT coming back. He might not be the guy that's going to be out there, starting or things like that. But when your number gets called, and if you are in the rotation, then you want to stay in the rotation. How do you do that? You do all the small things, especially when you got a team full of guys that can score the basketball. They're not looking for you to really score. That's icing on the cake. They're looking for you to play defense, to get offensive rebounds, to win 50-50 balls, all those little small things that come into play to where that's where the coach can trust you in. I think he earned that trust when Jayson Tatum was out and he was starting and he was getting minutes and he was in the rotation. So that's where I think that once he got his confidence, not only from the coaches, but his own confidence, he's playing a really good basketball.
We're not winning a championship unless we get these type of contributions, because you saw how Oklahoma City started out, sitting in the lap of JT and JB. We need those guys to be great. They can't be great if they don't have space. Guys making shots create space, or guys taking second chance opportunities. So, like, that's what Baylor Shireman did in the fourth quarter for us once he checked into the game. I mean, Joe Mazzulla rode him all the way till 2 minutes, and those were Derek White's minutes. Yeah. He trusted him out there. That was very impressive.
Yeah, 4 out of the 5 starters ending up in double figures. Sam Hauser 9, almost flirting with 10 points, and then Baylor Shireman finishing with 11. 35 bench points here. I mean, you can only imagine the different Tommy Awards you could dish out here tonight. But Scal, who you got?
You guys know where I'm going. We're not winning this game without Baylor Shireman.
There we go.
All right, run it. Why when he checked in the game, I said, Baylor has the perfect temperament. He's got the mullet. He got the tattoo. He coming out with pink shoes. Like, he came out with pink shoes. So, of course, he has to have a big game, and that's exactly what he did. Not only does he make shots, look at this possession right here. Moving his feet. He's guarding SGA. And he's doing it all to set him up, right? We're not going to have the fourth quarter with JB and JT making the space that they have to make it happen without Shireman giving you the thumbs up 3. So Baylor Shireman, congratulations. Mullet and all. You're going to win the Tommy Award.
Baylor Shireman, pink shoes. It's funny because SGA had a pink coat, but it's Baylor and company that get the win here
Eddie,
tonight.
You got a pink coat?
I do, but not the way Baylor does. Oh, Eddie? Baylor Shireman climbing up on that Tommy
Black Barbie
Award leaderboard. We're going to get to break, please. Tom Giles is coming in next. We're going to get you a mullet scale.
Jaylen Brown also in the game. Goes up, gets fouled, basket counts, and one. A big smile for Jaylen Brown.
All right, that gave the Celtics a 103-92 lead as they get the win over the Oklahoma City Thunder, 119-109 here tonight. Jaylen Brown leading the way for the Celtics with 31 points. Time now to hear from Joe Mazzulla, his thoughts on this win for the C's, who moved to 48-24. Coach's press conference is presented by Amica Insurance, the exclusive auto, home, and life insurance partner of the Boston Celtics. Here's Joe.
Joe, you had a tough first quarter there. A few turnovers, weren't hitting shots. How were you able to kind of flip the game in the second quarter?
Yeah, I mean, those are the times where you just have to focus on the process of what you're doing. I thought we were getting great looks. You got some wide open ones. I thought they hit some shots there. We gave up 2 layups in the first quarter. So I think that's just kind of the ebbs and flow of the game. I think we were able to rebound. We were able to keep them off the free throw line. We were able to keep them out of transition. And so when you do those things, you'll naturally, just kind of the game will just take care of itself.
And as far as the rebounding goes, a lot has been made about Jayson coming back and ups and downs or whatever, but the rebounding has been a constant. What have you seen from that, and what does it mean to see him still do that thing, something like exceptionally well, while he's still trying to figure out other things?
Listen, he's given us, the game what it needs, and he's putting us and helping us win. That's the only thing that matters, in any way that looks like. And so, his rebounding has been top notch. His ball handling, what he did to start the fourth quarter, going on a run, when managing the game. Baylor got shots out of it. He was playing pick and roll. He's giving the game what it needs, and that's the most important thing. And rebounding is a piece of that, and he's got to continue to do it for us.
I lost count, but you bring probably 10 or more like Spain pick and roll, especially with Jayson Tatum. Why do you think this action specifically is so hard to defend?
There's times where it's easy to defend. It just depends on how you execute. So I think that's the most important thing. I think tonight we executed it pretty well. I thought our guys had the iterations right down. I thought we made the reads. Like I said, to start the fourth quarter, went to it 4 or 5 times. JT was able to make the right 2-on-1 read, and it's a stabilizing play for us. We got to continue to work on executing against the different coverages that present it.
Joe, Jaylen and Jayson had 8 and 7 assists. They both had 5 turnovers too, but when they were succeeding, especially in the half court, what did you see as the key to that success against the Thunder's defense?
I think a lot of it also tonight had to do with, for the most part, we were able to get stops. They had 4 offensive rebounds, and so when you're doing that, we could play free-flowing. We could play in transition a little bit more, and I think Peyton and Derek did a great job of navigating the spacing that we needed to get to. I thought JB's playmaking versus their smalls was great. He handled the hedge well. Because we were getting stops, the floor was spaced. He was able to get into the paint when he wanted. I thought he made great reads. Even in the first half, I think 3 of his passes were to Sam's threes that he missed, and so when you can get stops and we can get to spacing, JB can make plays there. And then I think JT's pick and roll ability to stabilize us and make reads out of pick and roll versus the couple coverages that he saw, he was able to do that for us as well. And so I thought it was a balanced game by the both of them.
You say Peyton and Derek managed the offensive spacing. What did that look like? Just moving off the ball, keeping their defenders away?
Reading what the matchup is, reading what the spacing is, reading what the screening is. I thought they did a great job of recognizing that.
Joe, 19-2 in second chance points. Daignault spoke before the game and mentioned, your offensive rebounding in Oklahoma City. How are you guys able to maintain that advantage here tonight?
Just a commitment to the glass. A commitment to that. It's a choice you have to make. Nobody's stopping you. You have to commit to it. And, I think our guys, we only had 7 offensive rebounds. We'll see what the percentage was on what we crashed. But, our guys are committed to it, and it helps us with the shot margin.
How important were guys like, Ugo and Baylor? Ugo coming in that second quarter and changing things up, and then Baylor crashing the glass and everything that he did.
Yeah, just playmaking, in other areas. I thought Baylor was great in his shot making. He was great defensively, on his matchup. He's a guy that just makes plays, so I think he had an offensive rebound tip out that got us one. So when those 2 guys are able to be playmakers for us on the defensive end of the floor and impact offensively, it gives us a boost as a team.
Sam, Noah, and Garrett.
All right, back here at Celtics postgame live at TD Garden. Tom Giles, Eddie House, Scal. Eddie, I'll start with you as far as, Joe Mazzulla talking about them making the right reads. What did you like about the Celtics as far as the offensive side of the ball, the reads that they made in the ball movement that went with it?
Well, it was Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. They were getting 2 on the ball every single time that they were coming off. They were blitzing them extremely high. And I thought we were getting into our offense a lot faster, which created a lot more space, a lot more confusion on the defensive side for OKC. And to me, that was the key of the game, was speeding the game up, but under control. Not just we're going to run and jack shots up 7 seconds or less, Phoenix Suns. No, it's let's get the ball up and run multiple actions, get guys where we need to get guys, and making the right reads. And when you have unselfish superstar players, it seems like that becomes contagious for everybody else. They make the right play as well. They're not trying to play superhero basketball because their superheroes aren't.
Yeah, so it starts with spacing. If the role players are in the right location, the star players will pass the ball. As long as those guys eventually make shots. But you can't make shots if you don't have good spacing. First quarter, terrible spacing. As the game went along, our spacing, our execution, and our star players continued to get 2 on them and make the right play.
Did it feel like they played with more pace, Scout, to you? I know, Eddie,
no.
we talked about that at halftime.
Like faster?
In the half court.
Getting into our action earlier.
Get into our action earlier, yes.
Yes.
But we didn't get many fast break points.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
I agree with you. Yeah, when people use the word pace, I don't know if you know, like we know, you don't know. You know how it is. It's all right.
What's that about?
But what do they say? If you know, you know. Like,
I was asking about more pace in the half court offense.
Pace means getting into your action quicker.
How would you like me to ask it that next time?
Were they getting into their action quicker?
Were they getting their action quicker in the second half?
Eddie already told you that.
What do I need you for? What do we need you for?
No, he's right, though, because you don't want to be up against the clock against Oklahoma City. So that doesn't equal pace. Pace means how many times you jack up shots.
And then also, I don't think that OKC dictated where we were our spacing. Like that happened against Minnesota. Minnesota dictated where we were starting our offense, and their pickup points were high. It wasn't like that. If it was 2 coming to the ball, we got off of it.
Yeah.
And then we attacked from there. And we seen that clip where Peyton Pritchard got it from Jayson Tatum when it was 2 on him. Then he drove, had 2 on him, kicked it to the corner and got a 3.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I'm talking about. If you walk the ball up the court and their pickup points are disrupting your offense, a lot of times you look up at the shot clock, that would have been a grenade, but it wasn't a grenade.
Go ahead, Jim. Talk to us.
No, he's saying we're going to go to the dunk and dunk.
Okay.
We're going to check out the dunk and dunk. You got Jayson Tatum. Do you want a last word?
Am I here or am I leaving? Okay.
They're kicking you out.
All right. I'm just going to – no, let me finish that. That execution tape in the second half will be Joe Mazzulla's favorite second half of the season. Like them and their spacing and their getting into it, offensive rebound. The Celtics played it's not a perfect, no one's playing perfect, as close to a perfect against a good team as we've played all year. Our record against the top opponents have not been great. Tonight, that was the best half of basketball we played, and it coincides with Jayson Tatum being out there. Daigneault treated him like he was Jayson Tatum of last year, shifting defenses towards him, and the same thing for Brown. If they're respecting both of those guys, our role players are the key, because eventually they'll open up the floor for our star players. That's a mic drop moment. I'm out.
All right, Scal. Let's get to the dunk and dunk of the game. It's all about the dunk, and it's Jayson Tatum, who you just mentioned, finding Nimi Keita for the dunk on Chet Holmgren. There's your dunk and dunk of the game. Again, it is all about the dunk. Tatum finishing with 7 assists in this one to go with 19 points, 12 rebounds. And the Celtics go back up a half-game lead on the New York Knicks. Still a game ahead in the loss column. We're going to take a quick break. Hear from Peyton Pritchard coming up here on Celtics Postgame Live.